everybody. My name is Janani Venkataraman and I'm a senior at the Culinary Institute of America. I've been here for 3 years and the one thing that stayed the same is I absolutely love food. But something has changed. In September of 2020, when we were at the peak of the pandemic, I decided that I would go vegan and adopt a plant-based diet. And that's when I started exploring the world of vegetables and how amazing they could be. Being at home, this is the kind of food I ate. But when I returned to the CIA in January of 2021, I started to notice that there was a severe lack of vegetables and fruits in the cafeteria menu. And I wasn't sure if that was just me not noticing all the options available, or if there was just not enough vegetables in any of the dishes. So I decided to look at the menus over a period of a few days this week.
Here's what I found. The options at the egg were very carb heavy, with very little variety in vegetable or protein, and many of the preparations were not very healthy. Additionally, fruit that used to be free before now costs gold points, and some fruit was even as expensive as 6 points. So I started to wonder, could the CIA be an obesogenic environment? I couldn't just go off of my judgment, so I decided to ask some of my friends. I designed a survey of 12 questions that asked people about their dietary as well as exercise habits with respect to their surroundings, and I had 25 responses. Out of the 25 responses, 16 people believed that their diet was not balanced. They believed that, at least at the school, carbohydrates made most of their diet, and they weren't getting enough fruits and vegetables because of the reasons enumerated above. Additionally, a lack of culturally relevant food added to people's negative dietary choices. While most people reported that not exercising was a personal choice, many also expressed that sometimes the gym was not accessible enough. Thus, I concluded that the CIA is an obesogenic environment.
Its most basic form, an obesogenic environment is an environment which promotes obesity, which promotes overeating and underexercising and excessive weight gain. As individuals, we like to think that we have a lot of control over our individual food choices and that we can use our willpower and our knowledge and skills and all of our personal beliefs and values to make the best choices that we possibly can. But our food choices don't happen in a vacuum. We are heavily influenced by other factors at higher levels, including interpersonal, kind of social relationships, peer relationships. We're influenced by our surroundings. So the culture here at the CIA is unique because we are a food-focused university. Our dining plan is based off of our educational curriculum, which is amazing, right? That CIA students are able to be exposed to such diverse culinary cuisines, but it also creates some limitations with not promoting health and wellness as a primary value across our curriculum.
What I've seen at the egg has been pre-COVID, post-COVID. I think when I first came to the school, there were a lot of options. I think I really enjoyed before COVID having the different buffets that we used to have. It gave me a lot more options of choosing a meal that I wanted that night, or maybe that, maybe I'm craving vegetables or something, and they have a bunch of different sauteed vegetables available, and I could kind of mix and match things, I think, which was really cool and a lot nicer than kind of what we've had post-COVID, where it's been very, here are the 5 options that you have, take them or leave them, all of that.
So as a Hispanic coming from California, which has a really rich Hispanic culture, eating over here for the first few weeks, I cried to my parents about how bad the food was from what I'm used to. And when the CIA tries to execute Hispanic dishes, it's always the wrong spices or not enough spices, or it's just poorly executed technique. And so it's really weird. It's really hard for me to find food I truly enjoy from my culture and what I'm used to at the CIA. Okay.
Yeah, the gym could really use some fixing up because the equipment's just falling apart, and we usually have to wait like at least a month before anything gets fixed, and that really puts a damper on things because people typically want to use the same item back to back, and so you end up with a long line of people who are just waiting for that one person to get done with the equipment, when usually there would be two of that equipment, and then yeah, basically people crowd around just one equipment.
Honestly, I miss the hours that we had pre-COVID where it would open at like 7 a.m. because like, you know, I have class now either at like 8:45 or noon, or I'm working, you know, early hours. So it's like, sometimes like I don't always have the energy or the desire to go to the gym after class, after work. You know, it's like I'd rather just get it done in the morning.
By prioritizing a little bit more the quality of the food as opposed to the quantity, like just a little bit, because it's still supposed to be a quantity based class, but just taking more care to make sure that the food is good and plated and done all the way through, as well as making sure that there's options for people who are like vegetarian and vegan as well, like every single day, and multiple options aside from like a salad. Yeah.
So choice architecture has been around for a while, but I find it a fascinating field because it's really the intersection of psychology and economics, and showcases how individuals don't always make the most rational decisions in the moment. That in order to set people up for success, we need to make the best choice, the easiest choice. And